Welcome back, everyone. This is Dave from Cormorant Productions. This video is actually an extension of the most recent episode of This Is Us, titled Birth Mother. My initial impressions of that episode is that it was airtight. That everything checked out with the story they were trying to tell. But after talking to a couple of friends, my friends Stacy Cohen, who was actually responsible for me getting into the series in the first place, and Adam Wilcox, I realized that things are not quite as airtight as I thought. That there actually is a problem at the center of this thing, and that is the fact that according to what we saw, William should have eventually realized that Laurel was alive. Let's take a look at the sequence of events. Laurel was overdosing in the apartment that William and her shared. The paramedics were at the scene, treating Laurel, and then she thought she was dead. William, holding Randall, decides to take off after one of the paramedics mentions child services. He gets on a bus, eventually gets off, and drops Randall off at a fire station. After the fire station, Randall is taken to the hospital, where Jack and Rebecca are about to have the babies. Unbeknownst to him, Laurel starts to breathe. She too is taken to a hospital. I'm not sure if this was mentioned anywhere in the episode or otherwise, but what hospital was she taken to? Was it the same one as where Jack and Rebecca end up, or is it a completely different one? Because otherwise we have a different problem. And at that point, he would learn that Laurel was still alive. he probably also would have ended up in jail. For drug abuse, more than likely, or drug possession, and abandoning a child. Surely that's a crime of some type. So this seems like a rather big hole in the story that they were telling. The only explanation that makes any sense at all for why none of this happened is, as my friend Adam suggested, rampant racism, where they just simply didn't care to pursue the matter. But there is another problem that arises in this conversation. In the pilot episode of the series, Randall has hired a private investigator who found William. When we first meet Beth and Randall at a soccer game, watching their kids play, Randall says that his mother died of a crack overdose, and Randall was left at a fire station by William. The private investigator found out that Laurel died of a drug overdose. Well, since that didn't happen according to this episode's events, the private investigator would not have found that. In fact, the private investigator would have found that she survived that overdose, went to the hospital, and then was imprisoned. As for William, I'm not sure how the private investigator found him at all. As Stacy pointed out, there's absolutely no paper trail leading from William to Randall, but there is a paper trail leading from Randall to Laurel. To a certain extent, anyway. At least more so than the other way around, that it actually happened. So in conclusion, the private investigator never should have found William. He might have been able to find Laurel, but since the series started in 2016 and she died in 2015, that would have led to a dead end. There is one possibility that sort of fixes all this, in the fact that perhaps Hai is just not a very reliable narrator, and he just has a lot of facts wrong. Perhaps there is an explanation that would make this all make sense, but we're probably never going to hear it. Maybe Hai was wrong. Maybe William really did know that Laurel was still alive. That she didn't die of the drug overdose, and in fact died in 2015. If that's the case, let's not let Randall figure that out. Let's let Randall remain happy. Do you agree with me? Disagree with me? Either way, leave a comment, let me know your thoughts. That's pretty much all I have to say on this subject. There is a new episode coming finally tomorrow. We can hopefully find out the fate of Kevin, Madison, and the babies. You can look for my video on the new episode on next Monday. In the meantime, if you like this video and my content in general and want to support the channel, there are a number of ways to do so. You can follow me on Twitter at Core Productions. You can join my Facebook group, my 2 Facebook groups actually. One, just my Core Productions group. The other, This Is Us discussion. Both the links will be provided in the video's description. You can buy something from the Corman Production store on Zazzle. You can buy me a copy, which apparently is a new way to support content creators. And of course, you can like, share, and comment on this video, as well as subscribing to my channel. This is Dave from Corman Productions, signing off.